trying desperately to paint me as a lunatic.
It was almost like getting to know oneself.
And I will say, I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
When I met her, she was this tour de force.
But I did send a text message to somebody very high up who received the text message.
It was like, I saw myself in her.
And I give you the opportunity to spike the ball to prove that I'm a lunatic, and you don't do it?
No, I didn't fall in love with her. I fell in love with a woman who gave so much of myself back to me.
No response. Now, I thought that the claim of the French Foreign Legion being involved in Charlie's assassination, I thought the FBI might be interested.
I was very willing to let myself fade and give glory to her.
No phone calls even from Utah's FBI branch.
You know, that's how I view our marriage in many ways.
Now, if you are, in fact, currently at this moment, the first man of France, that would be Brigitte Macron, and you are currently suing a podcaster in America named Candace Owens for defamation.
I was just thinking, by the way, that I really wouldn't recommend giving Candace the I Don't Care show, because there'll be something very exciting on the back of that before you can think about it.
Is perfected in our marriage, I would say. Yeah, the bombastic Americanism versus the retired English persona.
It's been a wonder on many people's minds, or at least, let me say, many good-thinking people's minds. Why is no one taking the threats on Candace Owens' life seriously? Is the White House taking this serious?
And a week later, this is the official White House response.
Is the world taking this serious?
People are saying that's totally crazy, right? People saying that I made it up.
But the most important question is the person who is allegedly in danger taking this seriously?
I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that. By the way, is that on its face even plausible? Multiple agencies and multiple countries involved, from Egypt to Israel.
First of all, the first thing that raised some flags, why would you bring this to Twitter rather than taking it through the official channels? And many of us were still sitting on the fence and saying that probably she has taken it through the official channels because she herself is now telling us we should wait for the officials to tell us. And we were wondering, why wouldn't she take a plot to assassinate her to the FBI, to the official way, but she takes it to Twitter? And we said, okay, maybe she did. But she has since told us herself she did not use the official methods.
I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
And I was wondering, how will you take a threat in your life and not take it through the official channels?
But I did send a text message to somebody very high up who received the text message.
And what is the reason she actually posted this online? Even her own husband, before ever marrying her, knew she would be the type to post this on Twitter.
When I met her, she was this tour de force.
And I will prove that today. And today's video, I will show you also exactly why Candace Owens did not file an official report, what are the implications of what she did, and why will we now see her as the boy or girl who cried wolf too many times. Welcome back to the channel, my dear lovelies. If you are new to this village, we're a small community of individuals who just discuss important things that are making headways and also the real implications and ramifications of those social norms we are looking at, like just social media drama. These used to be taken seriously, but we now live in the Bolton era. So everything now is just chaos. If you're new, please subscribe, share the video, like the video, and if you don't like it, you're one of those people who hate hearing any slight criticism of Candace Owens. You can't stand it. You can't. This is the holidays, and I would like to spare you the stress, the drama. You're going through a lot enough already. You are already fearing for the life of your loved one, Candace, baby, that's what I mean. So I would not like to add more of it. It would be good if you just hit the unlike button and you hit the streets, okay? Bye. Wait, they're gone? All right, now let's move into it.
And in doing so, And that sounds sort of, well, I fell in love with myself. No, I didn't fall in love with, I fell in love with a woman who gave so much of myself back to me, you know, and I kind of, I was very willing to let myself fade and give glory to her. You know, that was kind of, that's how I view our marriage in many ways. Like
When I looked into Candace Owens' claims and I now heard her say she didn't file an official report, I remembered. Her own husband, when he met her, made a very impressive statement about her.
When I met her, she was this tour de force.
And that stuck with me for a while until now. It makes sense now. He said when he met her, she was this Twitter force. And I was wondering, her husband's first characteristics of why he was so enchanted by this foreign bombastic beauty was the Twitter force?
When I met her, she was this tour de force, you know, incredible mind, incredible beauty.
Then I remembered her husband was a member of the Burlington Club, and he, just like many people who are enchanted by Candace Owens, are attracted, not only attracted, they love chaos. Candace Owens said it herself. She married her IQ.
I married the person that it made the most sense for me to marry. It was difficult for me to find a partner that was a challenge to me. You know, the challenge that I needed, whether you want to say like an academic challenge, whatever it is, with my same interests. It just was. What you will know, a lot of times people think that when people come together, it's because of how they look. Actually, I actually read this in a Thomas Sowell book, or maybe it was a Shelby Steele book. People tend to marry their IQ, which is interesting. You think like if you see two black people together, oh, it's because they are two black people, but actually they are probably better matched based on their IQ. It's a bonus that I also think that he's beautiful and gorgeous and handsome, but it really was about his mind.
It was almost like getting to know oneself in some ways. It was kind of a very strange experience. You know, it was like I saw myself in her.
Or we can put it, she married a man who will match her chaos. If you've not watched my video, the deep dive I did on the Burlington Club and why Candace Owens is actually probably someone who is being used by her husband to peddle a lot of chaos through the transatlantic ocean, you should better watch that. It will be linked here below and you can watch that. It will be very enlightening to see that this very old retired looking man who is quiet and simple and speaks so soft, he is the master architect of the chaos.
It's always fun to be your wife's husband. I'm used to it now. So, I was just musing, by the way, that I really wouldn't recommend giving Candace the I don't care show. Because there'll be something very exciting on the back of that before you can think about it.
You see Candace Owens producing each and every day on her scripted, pre-recorded, alleged live shows. Candace Owens has said herself that she married her IQ equals to a chaos duo. Nothing wrong with that. Believe me, if you make your choice or characteristics that will make you choose a partner and you go for those who relate to you, it means you know what you want and you go for it. But then when that implies chaos and a lot of trouble to other individuals and especially citizens on the internet and also in real life, that is where we have to look into it and maybe, let's say, express the real ramifications of what happens and the importance that the world needs to recognize when it comes to the version of which show Candace and George Truman show will be playing in front of us at every point. Because what she has said Charlie Kirk's life was,
Whether Charlie's entire life was the Truman Show.
Probably is what she's delivering to her audience day in, day out. Now, I want us for the first now, whether you have believed her before or you did not, I want us to do a small exercise for the sake of this video. For a second, I want you to believe that Candace Owens' life was actually at risk. It was being threatened. Now, what is the real procedure for someone who is experiencing any kind of threat in such a manner? The first thing they will need to do is recognize the international ramifications of something like that, and especially of making claims about something like that. There is intelligence and threat assessments that have to go through the official procedure. There are step by step, okay? Something like she has to go through federal law enforcement to ensure that she really legally records this claim, giving the official proofs and evidence of what she claims were the reasons why she believed the threats against her life are real. She will have to recognize also there are diplomatic and foreign policy responses that need to be put in place, and also a national emergency if the threat is viewed as an unusual and extraordinary threat with its source outside the United States. I'm telling you, this is not something that the United States play with. If any citizen of America, I have seen situations where African countries with just normal, regular citizens of America, they put that country under tension if that citizen dares whispers that they are under threat, and they produce the little or the least evidence of that threat. The rate at which the American government usually responds to threats to American lives, it's usually very interesting. So I was very shocked when I was noticing that of Candace Owens didn't take that kind of route. I was wondering. Another thing that needs to be taken into strict procedure is the protection and security for the target, that is Candace Owens and her family. Because if an American is threatened, particularly in a credible or serious way, the US government, imagine all the relevant agencies might offer protection, possibly involve law enforcement, security services, and relocation depending on the risk, potential sanctions or broader actions, because we are talking about a foreign government daring to threaten not only the life of a US citizen, but a very, very important life of a US citizen, because she is the American bombastic person. That is not a quote from me. That is her hobby, okay? Because I know some of you are about to, why are you calling her? Calme-toi.
Is perfected in our marriage, I would say. Yeah, the bombastic Americanism versus the retired English persona.
Ce n'est pas moi qui a dit ça, c'est son mari. Donc, il faut calmer-toi, ok? Je vais parler un peu du français maintenant. Je sais que vous l'avez venu derrière et commencer que je suis français. Je ne suis pas français. Je n'aime pas les Macrons. Oui, spécifiquement, pas les Français. J'aime les Français. C'est pour ça que je parle français. Il y a un peu de petit romance entre nous et les Français. Mais je n'aime pas Emmanuel Macron et sa femme. Mais there are important things that these are things that are just a given. Now, what will someone in her position, okay, do? Because let's say that there is no public evidence that the French government has ordered that violence against her. But let's assume that there was the credible evidence. What would someone like her should have done? Contact the US federal authorities immediately. Threats from foreign officials are handled by the US government, not individuals. The correct agencies could be contacted, like the FBI, Department of State, Diplomatic Security, local police, and all of that. She claims that she contacted the counterterrorism, the FBI, and all. But this is the one thing she forgot to tell her friends.
But the FBI left me on red. And I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
But she said it way into the video. She did not use any official source or do any official reporting.
But I did send a text message to somebody very high up who received the text message.
And I will tell you why Candace Owens did not do that official reporting. Because the whole time while she was talking about threats on her life, the whole time this girl was smiling. The only time I noticed her have real fear and concern on her face was when she was talking about making it up or something like that. You will see what I mean. Let's keep on going. Now, what else would she have done? Provision, okay? Provide all evidence. She should have gone to these federal agencies we are talking about, provided all evidence, relevant recordings, emails, post statements, or anything. Given she said she had a tipster from somewhere, she would have had to provide that evidence. Okay, this is the person who sent it, so that they can go through the chains and verify that information. Follow guidance from law enforcement, and those guidance include things that will keep her safe. Okay, something like situational awareness steps, avoiding unnecessary travels, adjusting public appearances, accepting official protection services if offered, especially in a situation when he's a French president. The French president can make you disappear while he's still thinking about the croissant he wants to have for breakfast. He could make you meh before he has his French kiss with his wife. So I don't understand why such a measure will not be taken by someone who is being threatened by the French president. Je ne comprends pas. C'est pour ça que j'étais un peu, c'est bizarre. Another thing this person should have done is increase basic personal security. But you know what Candy Baby was doing over the weekend? Allegedly, baby girl was hitting it up in Dollywood. Someone posted on X a picture of her with supposedly their daughter. Allegedly, Candace Owens was in Dollywood flexing. So if the French president, who we know can take out any president in Africa and many places, if they feel like the croissant they ate didn't feel right, why would you be moving around Dollywood taking pictures and smiling? Your face really looks like someone who is really living her best life after putting the internet on fire. After putting X, Twitter on fire, your husband said it best. There's Twitter force.
When I met her, she was this tour de force.
He saw the Twitter force, and the bulletin man in him jumped up and said, damn, if I always wanted chaos in the transatlantic sector, this is the perfect opportunity. Allegedly. Now, why is it that Candace Owens, why is it that bypassing these official reporting channels is a measure?
Now, in terms of formal replies that we received, the FBI left me on red. And I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
This is very important. This is the most important part of the entire rant she had yesterday on her show. But many of her fans who die for anything she says will miss this, because this is the important bit. And she left it way into the show after telling them before that she had reported this case and did not make the disclaimer she's about to make now. Before, this is what she said when she was talking about reporting this case to the FBI and everyone else. This is what she said.
Did I report it to the White House? Of course I reported it to the White House. Did I report it to the FBI? Of course I reported it to the FBI. Did I report it to our counterterrorism unit? Of course I reported it, because I'm telling you there's a paper trail. Common sense.
There is paper trail. And she said she reported it to all those 3 institutions. But do you know what she's about to say next? Listen to this and you see the pure deception in her own words.
Now, in terms of formal replies that we received from government structures, the only department that we did hear back, well, first let me say I did not at all hear back from the FBI on the American side. I did hear back from the counterterrorism unit. I did hear back from the White House confirming that that message had been delivered on Trump's desk, me saying that I had the information. I guess he didn't want to inquire further, which is interesting. But the FBI left me on red. And I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that.
That right there. Did you notice that when she was discussing that she had made a report with the FBI before, she never mentioned that she just probably sent them a text message?
But I did send a text message to somebody very high up who received the text message.
She did not say that she did not actually send them an official message, which she should have done in the first place. She just sent them a text message. And that is not an official statement. And she knows why she did not send an official statement, because an official statement would have required her to give real proof, real evidence of the set assassination plot on her. And she knew she had nada. And she knew that one important thing, listen carefully, filing a false report officially can put her in the crosshair of something. For the second and third part of this video, or for the full video, just click the link in the description box or the link in the comment section. See you there.